Hello everyone, we are here today to present you the new Slalom Carbon range booms from Point-7. We have designed three sizes, 170, 210, 190, 240, 220, 270. So practically each size has a very different characteristic in terms of reflex of the carbon, in terms of the curve, and how the tail ends are in the width. So starting from the small one, this is the 170. The diameter shape is 26. It has an octotube, meaning that the tube is not round, but it has 8 sides, and this gives a very nice grip. And also, being 26 with this shape is actually feeling like a 25, so smaller than what you would imagine. And that's very nice because, of course, the smaller diameter, the less you will get tired. Then, what we have on the booms, and this is in all the booms, of course, we have the positioning of the harness lines. And then going to the back of this boom, this one has a width of 48. So this is a little bit more narrow than the other sizes. Narrow because you're going to use it in a stronger wind, or you're going to use it on smaller boards. When you use it on smaller boards, so a little bit narrower boom gives more control. It fits better in the stance with the width of the board, and therefore we decided to do a completely different curve and a narrower width, so that you would actually have the best performance with this kind of smaller rigs. The tail, and as you see, goes inside the body of the boom. We have decided to go inside on this smaller size, while on the other two sizes the tail is actually going over the body of the boom. We go inside because then it's smaller and it's less bulky, so it's better when you're driving in strong winds. It's not so wide, and normally we go wider with the other tails in terms of diameter to go over the body, because then the tail end can be lighter. But in this case the boom is small, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's more having more advantages having it actually less bulky in those conditions. So the reflex of the boom is very important, because it's actually deciding on how strong the rig is going to be on your body, in the sense that if the carbon is too stiff, the boom gets very difficult to be sailed, because if it's too stiff, when you hit the chop, you're actually going to get moved. If it has a little bit of forgiveness, it has to be very little, the right amount, then you will be more comfortable when you hit the chop or when the gust hits you, the strong wind. And this is what we worked a lot also on the bigger sizes of the boom, so each boom has its own reflex. And yeah, so this is our, let's say, the 170. Going on the 190, we have a maximum width of 51, so 3 cm wider than the smaller boom. In the center here, the diameter of the boom where you hold your hands is actually 29, so it's bigger than the smaller one, but we need to go this big in order to have a better stiffness of the boom. The tail end is going, as you see, over the body of the boom, so that it's light, can be built lighter as it has a wider diameter, and therefore this is going to balance then out the weight between the front part of the boom and the back part of the boom, which is also very important. If you have too much weight on the back side of the boom, even if it's only a few hundred grams on the water, it goes to feel like it's like over a kilo. So that's very important. What we did is, as you can see, in each boom we don't actually have just like, for example, the boom is 190 plus 10 plus 12. We actually put the size of the length of the boom, so it's easier when you have to check the specs with the sail. So it just goes faster to know where you have to set your boom at. So we have it on all the sides of the boom, this detail. And the holes here are made very wide, so that the double pin clits are not forcing too much on the carbon. There's a big area which is resting on, so this will not create any problems in the future. All our booms have the rudder protection at the back, as it's all carbon. You have a nice big rubber protection here at the back, so that when you're carrying the sail or resting it on the ground, you don't actually damage the carbon. And this is This is the 190 boom. On each boom we have a different tail end. So the 170, as you seen before, was a bit smaller. I can put them next to each other after, you can check them. This is a little bit wider, and the bigger one, the 220 boom, is actually even wider. The wider you go with the tail end, the more power you have in the rig. So each width from each tail end has been developed and checked in all the sizes to get the best compromise between power and comfort. So we go now on the. If you take now the 220 boom, we have, you can see here, it's a long boom. You can check that here it's actually even wider, the tail, so it's giving even more power for the big rigs. So this is like going to be used on the bigger sails. And so the tail is even wider. The body of the 220 is the same body shape of the 190. It's just longer and a little bit wider here in the center, but let's say that the diameter is the same. And what we have, which is kind of very comfortable, is this curve here. It has a wider curve here, just in the area where you actually put your hands for jibing. Having a wider curve here is allowing to actually, when you go to the other side to take the boom, to have more room and to have a closer distance than when you have it like squashed or straight area in this area. So having it wider gives a better comfort and an easier jibe, and the sail rotation is even faster. So this is kind of a nice advantage in the jibe. Now I just show you the front head of the boom. We believe that simple is always the best solution. It has to be simple, the front head, because it doesn't have to bring breakages, so the less pieces we can use. So this is a very simple front head. It has a long leverage so that when you close the boom it doesn't take so much effort. It has a very easy entry, perfect entry, and when you close it, it has a perfect shape to fit the mast. It doesn't need a lot of tension to close it, and what is nice is that when you don't need so much tension, you will not damage your mast as well. There's no need to over tension the the front head to have it not from slipping, and so that's kind of a big advantage. Sometimes you have some front heads where you have really to put a lot of tension not to have it slip, but then also the mast is kind of suffering. Here you just have a very normal tension, and it will not slide down while you're sailing. Now we have prepared for you some, as you see, we have 3 sizes, but in some cases, some booms can be used let's say you have a 7.5, for example. You can use also the 170 as well as the 190 boom, and then you can get confusing which one to buy, and you could go for the wrong choice and stuff like this. So we have prepared for you today, which is the main purpose of this little video, a little explanation on how we actually advise to choose the boom according to your sail sizes. We have here the 3 boom sizes, so the 170, the 190 and 220, just as we have them just behind here. And we have divided them between racing performance and free slalom performance. So let's say if you're using a 3-cam or a 2-cam or even a no-cam slalom sail, of course, free ride sail, whatever it is that is not racing, this is more or less our advice. So in racing, with sails between 5.0 to 7.1, when you're using a small board, like that could be between, like, let's say 75 centimeter, which could be 65 centimeter spoiler, we advise to use from 5.0 to 7.1 the 170 boom. So the smallest boom feels really nice on the 5.0 up to 7.0 with a kind of a board which is more than 65 centimeter wide. While if you're using a freeride sail, so as I said before, no cam, 2-cam, 3-cam, slalom sail, then our advice is that you can still use it on 5.0, of course, so on the smallest sail that fits, but instead of stopping at 7.1, you could actually use it up to a 7.5. And you can also use it on a wider board rather than the 65 wide. You can also go on the 75 wide board. So this would allow you to have actually practically, sometimes for some people, even like the full range of sails just in one boom. Then we have the 190 and 240 for racing. So if you're using the full camber sail, we advise you to use this boom on a medium board size, so like a board between 68 and 75, and with sail sizes between 7.1 and 7.9. This is where the 190 performs its best with those sails. While again, if you go on the freeride sails, it's called free race, free slalom, you can actually use it on a smaller size, so you can actually go, instead of 7.1 you can go down to 6.4, because you're going to use also this kind of sail in a lighter wind, and you can also use it up to an 8.5. So that's also pretty nice, because the 190 can actually cover a lot of sails in the bigger upper part of the range. And then we go on the last boom, which is the big one, the 220, and our pro riders are using it mainly on the three biggest sizes of the sails. So they start using it from 8.6, 9.2 up to 9.7 with the big board. In case they're using like a medium board, like what I mean by big board means 80 centimeters up. Some of the guys are using the 8.6 on a medium board. Medium board, as I said before, 70-75 centimeter wide. In that case, they can also use the 190 boom as well for racing. But if you're using the 8.6, 9.2, 9.7 on a big board, 80 cm up, then it's good that to use the big boom. For free racing is the same. The 220 should be just used from an 8.5 up. If you want some extra power on a freeride sail, it's not bad to have this boom. It actually allows you to have more power on the backhand when it's light wind. It gives you control. It feels very nice when you are actually cruising upwind, and you will enjoy it. So this is a bit explanation, and I hope you got all our advices, and see you next time.